everyone, I'm Megan Benanti and I'm here to give you a reading today. So this reading is for our Sun Wheel Magicians, and that means if your birthday adds up and reduces to 19, 19 is the sun, 1 plus 9 is 10, 10 is the wheel, and 1 plus 0 is 1, which is the magician. So this is for our Sun Wheel Magicians. All right, and this is January of 2021. All right, so we've got a good month coming up for you guys, and let's take a look at what this is. So first, I want you to focus on new beginnings. This is going to be in relationships. So it's kind of starting fresh, even if that's with family, if that's with a relationship you're already in. It's a new, fresh start. There's goodness to develop and grow here. I want you to be excited about it, and you're really planting in some roots for this next year. I've got just real good soft colors and energy. And so a lot of positivity around the potential of relationship growth. Now work is a whole different ball game, and it feels like it's going to be about changing for you. So we've got some closing out of maybe roles that you've been wearing this past year with the COVID that don't suit you anymore. And there's definitely wanting to take on this more of a leadership and independent role. It feels a little bit like an authority role, but that's not connected to this card traditionally, but it is what I'm pulling up. It's just a real strong business sense and wanting to divide and develop your time the way you want to do it, rather than how it's been done the last year of your life. So there's a lot of rebirth and regrowth. Also, it might be changing some habits or the way you do things. I'm feeling like you need a little more self-protection. Not a lot, but death is normally a card that death wears armor. In this case, though, I've got some open sandals, and I'm working with the Couture Tarot, and this is a great deck, and you'll see a picture of the reading here at the end. So just know that as you navigate this, I don't want you to feel exposed in ways that aren't necessary in your work environment. So, it's interesting to have both a new beginning and honoring an ending right next to each other. Even though they're in slightly different fields, they're still the two most important aspects of our lives. So, your sun energy, it is a 1, and it's your magician's a 1, pardon me, but being a sun wheel magician is about a 1 and new beginnings and bringing that sunny disposition and enthusiasm into whatever it is you're doing. And so I feel like you're really able to do this. Okay, now what is the most important accomplishment you should have this month? Ooh, strength. Okay, get that body going on. And oh my gosh, we have such an overindulgent cake here. So those of you that are thinking about detoxing, this is your time to do it. Building up strength, working on your physical body. Also a little bit about endurance of the mind. So I want you to, whether that is thinking about, taking something that helps you with your memory, or listen, as I'm away, like, where's my memory? Or developing your physical body even more significantly. There's a lot of focus on the endurance and how you can push yourself into a better place. And know you're going to rock this out. It's really going to be good, but that also means it's not going to be easy. All right, now work. There's not. I feel like you're having a hard time getting motivated with work, and one of the things that you're going to have to be self-motivating. You're going to have to find the creative energy in this for yourself. And there's a lot more focus on what you want to do for you. So, it's really, there's a sense of making the best of it. Not everything's going to be perfect, but I feel like you're doing a good job at that. There is a little bit about self-nurturing in this that's coming forward, and a little bit of self-soothing. And I also see a lot of transformation. There's a bit of a blah energy to this card, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I do feel like you're pulling it forward. You're finding the positive out of what might be a less than not ideal situation. It's not all bad, it's just not ideal. And so your energy and enthusiasm in that is really good. And I want you to be proud of yourself as you get to the end of this month. Okay, now what's your challenge? Let's take a look at that. Oh, maybe a little challenge in the romance area. Okay, that's funny. So, you know, and part of this might be your partner not coming forward in the way that you want them to, but part of it might be you not being able to connect emotionally. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes we're just at where we're at, and you know, we're focused on business or career or personal gain of whatever that is. And our partnership, if we're stable in that, a lot of times isn't our key focus. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to fend for yourself for dinner tonight. It could also be though that, you know, if you're single, that you're just feeling really frustrated with yourself about it. And you need to not beat yourself up. You need to do your best to put yourself out there, to look beautiful, and really focus on your appearance. And quit looking at everything like it's black and white, right and wrong. It's not. It's neutral. And just because maybe you don't feel as beautiful or as emotionally open this month, someone else might still perceive you that way. So don't be afraid of that. Okay, now in your career, we're not quite getting the closure that we want, which is interesting because we have both Death and now we have Ten of Wands in reverse. And so, and those are very much in alignment. You know, Wands bring up our challenges in our lives. And so just know that, you know, you're still carrying through some of last year's junk. And I know this isn't ideal. You've got it way more organized than you did in 2020. And so, you know, it is tidied up, and you're still got this burden of kind of lugging through with this if other people haven't been there to help out and you're carrying more of that burden. Now, I definitely think as you move forward, you're taking a new identity for yourself as far as the type of leader you are and the power and the strength that you've endured this last year and grown in your business. And so, you know, you might not be fully done with it, but it's like you've learned to be a better person from this. And so, and more effective in your work environment. So I do see just such a great acknowledgement of your leap in your abilities in your career. All right, so now what surprises do we have? Romantically, or personally, I would say not a lot of big surprises. It feels like clutter clearing, like you kind of don't know what you want. You don't know what you want to keep, and you don't know what you want to let go of. And so you're really clearing out a lot of stuff in this realm. And I think part of this is headspace too. But it might also be physically within your home. And I just feel like there's some challenge for you with trying to let go. And you've got a lot of ideas, belief systems kind of imprinted in your head. And you've got to break through on some of this. Because this is making you hold on to things that aren't really part of who you are now, but you're like, you feel obligated to hold on to them. So let's kind of clear this energy out, and just mentally, it's like, okay, God, give me the strength and the clarity to release whatever is inauthentic to me at this point in my life. And that'll help you to kind of move that energy on and out of you. Now, career for you with that, You might actually be getting a promotion. It is definitely a new role, but it emotionally connects for you. You're moving into a new realm. The energy is good around this. There's a bit of a woohoo, I'm so excited, I got this kind of thing. So you're tapping into that and exploring new avenues, new ways to develop yourself in your career. So don't even, even if it's not a promotion, it might be that you're taking a class that's going to help to support you as you develop in your career. So that looks really good. Know that it can also be personal development too. As I look at this, it might be something creative. But anytime we're creative, we take that into our work environment and it just becomes that much richer and more fulfilling. So I really see this as being a positive. Okay, so what's really important for you to offer to your partner this month? Or the significant person in your life. So that doesn't have to be a partner. It can be children, it can be parents, it can be a friendship that you care deeply for. And it's an interesting thing this time. It's actually saying the best thing you can do is take a step back and let them make their own choices. Live their own life a little bit. You do you, let them do them. And so give them a bit of space. Also, I do feel like you're looking at, if you have children, they're going to be trying to find some of their own boundaries and they're going to be pushing back quite a bit from you. I don't see that as being bad. They're not wanting to go back into school. There's some frustration there. And so you might see a little bit more apathy or anger from them. And so allow them the space to kind of move through that without judgment or criticism. If this is a partnership for you, you might be thinking, dude, are you ever going to marry me? Are you ever going to ask me out? Whatever the situation is. Allow them to not move forward in January. It just feels like this is their month to stay put and be okay with where they are. It feels like they're soothing their own wounds a little bit. And I want you to just acknowledge that that's okay for them and that you don't have to push them into anything that they're not ready for. All right. So now self-care for you is also going to be important this month. Be adventurous. I want you to think about planning a trip, taking a risk, doing something you haven't done before. Maybe it's getting healing work. Maybe it's receiving Reiki or acupuncture. Maybe it's getting a professional card reading and you've never done that before. So I want you to put yourself and just take a leap of faith. You don't have to spend a ton of money doing this, but it is going to be a little bit about self-exploration and trying something new and different. And this is going to be so good for you. So, venture out into self-care and explore what energy that is going to bring you forward. And last, the card that I want you to really focus on too, for yourself is how are you going to pay this forward? And, that's an interesting thing. My readings, I really want them to be interactive for people. It's not just about what I can tell you about you. It's also what I can tell you about how to improve who you are. And for you, paying it forward this month is more about self-reflection and self-awareness and not being in a rush. You need to back off the anxiety a little bit and the worry because you're projecting, you're thinking about the future. And this is like, no. You need to be in the present moment. You do not need to be worried about the future yet. I want you to live January for January. And so let go of anxiety, worry, judgment, what other people are thinking, the direction you're headed with things. For you to pay it forward, it's going to be to live in the moment and pay attention to the people that are around you in the present moment. So, and particularly that might be animals this month, giving some nurturing to them, helping a stray dog, maybe donation to a shelter, and also just being self-aware, like how do you impact your society? What difference do you make? One of my favorite things is talking to checkers and at grocery stores, at Marshall's, at Neiman Marcus, or wherever I'm shopping. You know, trying to acknowledge that maybe that person doesn't feel great and their job can be a beat down and it's repetitive and redundant. And so one of my favorite things is to make them feel special, to acknowledge that my time with them is precious and valuable. And so I want you to think about it in that direction. What can you give to someone in the present moment? So embrace that every day of January that you can. All right, folks, so that's our Sun Wheel Magicians for this month. Please feel free to write me any constructive feedback at the bottom if you have supporting comments that can help me better suit your needs as we move forward. I'd really appreciate it. I know I've had some technical issues today, just as I'm filming on my iPad instead of my phone. My dongle doesn't fit and all sorts of weird stuff. So the noise will be, there might be more background noise or the microphone sounding funny, but know that that will be fixed next month. All right, everyone, thanks so much and have a great one.